Is EgyptAir really that bad? Judging by lots of the reviews on YouTube, it looks quite frankly awful, dirty and disgusting, not for the faint-hearted. Looking at the feedback, I'm sure even Sam Chewy wouldn't be able to sugarcoat it. Mind you, he's not reviewed it. Today, it's my turn. I want to find out if it's really that bad in 2021. Some background. EgyptAir is the state-owned flag carrier commencing operations in 1933. They run a fleet of 69 aircraft, with their flagship being the Dreamliner, operated currently on their North American routes. Headquartered in Cairo, that's where we'll start our journey today, nice and early at 6 AM. Good morning guys, we've made it over to the airport. We're at Cairo International Airport because we're going to be going on EgyptAir. Now, anyone that's been through Cairo Airport before will know it's a mix of chaos and bureaucracy. Oh, and they really don't like filming at all. So, after going through the first level of security, we've now got to go and drop off the bags. We've been introduced to the chaos of Cairo Airport. Today I'm joined by my good friend James. His channel is linked below. A pair of us are going to try and find out if there's any alcohol available. Back home in the UK, it's almost a rite of passage to sink a pint with your mate at Wetherspoons before an early morning flight. Neither of us realised at the time, EgyptAir is a dry airline. Oopsie. Oh look, the business class lounge, how exciting. Let's see what this is like. I'll be offering as always, a comprehensive review. You can access this lounge if you're a Star Gold holder or you're flying business class like we are today. It does seem a pretty small facility, especially considering that there are, I think, 2 or 3 flights departing around the same time. Overall then, basic, but better than what a lot of the competition are delivering at the moment. The flight is on its final call. I thought we had another sort of 20 minutes, but it appears not. So let's rush without a risk of actually missing this flight. It was at this point I got approached by security. What's up? Yo. I don't have any. Yes, you heard correctly. A security official just asked me for a cigarette. Alright, so we've made it to the gate. It appears it's a bus gate, interestingly, which I actually do quite like because you get a good perspective of the planes from the tarmac. Not noticing any differences for business class. Yep, there was zero social distancing or boarding system whatsoever. Something to bear in mind if you've paid a premium for this ticket. It's certainly a little bit old school, this bus. Interestingly, the actual irony that we're going on one of the oldest buses to fly the newest of the EgyptAir fleet on the A220 today. I have flown on the A220 a few times before, notably recently the Swiss Airlines in business class, so it'll be interesting to compare. After a pretty chaotic and frankly very packed bus over to the remote stand, the gorgeous A220 came into view. Do you love an early morning flight? Not mornings, but early morning flights. A brand new A220. Let's get on board. And now for a quick word from today's video sponsor, Rosetta Stone. Where are you going to travel to when the world opens up? For me, I want to head to South America. It's the only continent I've not visited, and there's a whole host of airlines I want to review, such as Avianca and LATAM. As you'll know if you've been following me for a while, I like to experience a country when I visit, and I've been using Rosetta Stone to help me learn more of a local language when I visit. And I used them for the first time back when I was 16 to learn Spanish for my travels. It doesn't stop there though, there's actually a whole host of different languages you can access online for a variety of subscriptions, such as Arabic, which came in handy during this trip in Egypt. It works differently to regular language learning, and instead of memorizing grammar and phrases you're unlikely to use, Rosetta Stone scientifically teaches you the same way you were taught as a child. Methods such as through pictures and talking via their speech recognition. Right now they're offering you guys a discount on all subscriptions, including a lifetime subscription for only £179. This is for all their languages and allows you to keep learning them for life. Just think of all those countries you can plan to visit in the future to practice this with. You can check out Rosetta Stone in the link at the top of the description. Remember, this comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks again for Rosetta Stone for sponsoring this video. Thank you. Good morning. Whilst we were some of the first to board in business class, it became clear very quickly that this flight was completely full. Certainly a positive sign in the aviation industry.
Well, mate, hello.
There goes the seatbelt sign. Please sit down and buckle up. Thanks.
It wasn't long before everyone was boarded and we began to push back. Whilst the seats were spotless and clean, the outside of the aircraft was filthy. Right guys, so welcome on board today's flight over to Aswan. Flight time is around an hour over from Cairo. Now, I've flown this aircraft a bunch of times before, most notably on a similar flight domestically between Geneva and Zurich. I say similar, that's where the similarity ends. On Swiss, on the sort of flight you can expect pretty much full service, even in the current pandemic. However, as you're going to find out today, EgyptAir does adapt their service quite significantly. For an hour's flight we were just given a snack. Now that's not too much of a problem, but it looked like a Meccano set. You'll remember my comments on EgyptAir being dry. Well, one little known fact is they let you bring your own booze. So James and I enjoyed a couple of Egypt's finest Stellas. Cheers. So interestingly, the configuration that they've gone for is a 2-3. Now, the problem with that is that you can be lumbered in the middle seat. It's just not really what you want when you're paying the premium for business. So a couple of other interesting quirks that I've noticed today is the rows start from row 20. So just over here, it's row 20. In fact, I'm in row 22, which is just quite frankly bizarre. Let me just show you quickly around the seat. There isn't a huge amount of space, however it's better than quite a lot of carriers. Bearing in mind this is the same space that you'd get in economy. You've got the safety card just in here. I like that there's a USB charging port. This is a fully adaptive layout, so what you can basically do is business class can shift to say 3 rows to 4 rows to 5 rows. What's just above me over there can move backwards and forwards. So what I'm sitting in here is no different to what you'd get in economy. Now what other airlines do in their business class is rather than fill the seats like Egyptian have, instead you'll find that they'll keep those middle seats free, which is the standard procedure in a lot of Europe. Of course, if you really want to do it properly, you use reclining seats that are fixed in for business class. In conclusion then, and based on today's flight, I was actually pretty impressed. Bear in mind this is a domestic flight during the pandemic, and whilst food service was limited, it was still offered. Compared to say Turkish and even shockingly so Delta, it outperforms with regard to their service provision. I liked that they had a fully functioning domestic lounge open when so many airlines have closed theirs, but it's a shame it's so small. The A220 is modern and along with the 737 makes up the backbone of their short-haul fleet. I wouldn't hesitate to fly it again, and I also found the flight to be particularly clean, which goes against what a lot of other reviewers have found, but that's again on their longer haul fleet. What I really want to do is try their 777 and 787 to compare my feedback with others. Have you flown EgyptAir before, and if so, what did you think? Thanks so much for watching guys, I'll catch you all again next week.